Malaria is a disease spread by an Anopheles mosquito. That Anopheles mosquito usually bites an infected person, incubates the parasite in its body, and then transmit it to another person. Now, as Dr. Ford and Dr. Jordan have said, we have had malaria here, persons coming into Barbados with malaria before. I think this is more than 60 years now that we have not had a case of malaria being transmitted in Barbados. So persons would have caught it and came into Barbados, but we haven't had any person transmitting malaria in Barbados. And one of the reasons for that is, although we have an Anopheles mosquito in Barbados, which is capable of transmitting the disease, that Anopheles mosquito is a very poor vector of the disease, which means that it is not able to pass the disease easily. And there are a number of reasons for that. One, that mosquito lives primarily in the Graham Hall swamp. And because it is a swamp dwelling mosquito, that mosquito does not venture far beyond the swamp. So it usually feeds on birds, on monkeys, or any other animal that it finds within the swamp area. If a human being traverses that area, they can be bitten. But since we don't have the parasite in Barbados, it means that no one would have gotten malaria in Barbados in over 60 years. Now, be it that as it may, we still continue to do our vector control activities in the swamp. So presently we have fogging going on in that general area. We have we have our surveillance, which means our inspectors go in there on a weekly basis, and we will do our dips in terms of trying to determine the levels of Anopheles and other mosquitoes that are in there. Let me say that the recent or not so recent challenge that we had in the swamp, where the sewage was going into the swamp, actually had a good outcome in terms of the mosquitoes, because the amount of sewage in the swamp decreased the amount of available oxygen in the water, which meant that the mosquito population fell off significantly. At least the Anopheles mosquito population. So while it was not a good thing having sewage going in the swamp, it meant that the numbers of Anopheles mosquitoes reduced significantly. So in that period of time, we were not actually finding any Anopheles mosquitoes. We were getting Culex mosquitoes, which prefer sewage type water, but we weren't finding any Anopheles mosquitoes. So the probability of anyone here in Barbados spreading malaria is extremely small. It is very, very small. And it also, I must also say that, as I said just now, but in any case, we still continue our vector control activities.